The SummerSlam hype is on, and basically this episode of Raw was basically okay. It was not that exciting. It's the usual show before a PLE. Nothing new happened, no new developments, no exciting matches announced, no plot development, no twists and turns. It was just one big recap. So here's my review of this episode of Raw right before SummerSlam. Alright, so this episode of Raw, what is there to say? The show started with the best segment of the evening. Literally, the best segment happened in the beginning. We have Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins in the ring. Seth Rollins is wearing his referee attire. He's giving the stipulations, which basically means he can do whatever he wants and nobody can touch him. So the rules, in a way, are no rules, but no rules within the framework of what Seth Rollins decides, right? So he can have fun with both of them, right? He can tell them when it's no disqualification. He can count fast. He can count slow. The test is that neither CM Punk nor Drew McIntyre can get pissed off. They have to keep their calm while fighting each other, but Seth Rollins can have all the fun he wants. This was a cool segment, and it just kind of tells us how insane this match is gonna be. Obviously, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre get at each other verbally, right? They cannot touch each other. The moment they touch each other before the match is canceled, right? So that builds the pressure because both of them are just itching to beat each other down. Right? So CM Punk gives his promo, Drew McIntyre gives his promo, then back to CM Punk, back to Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins is there with his energy, bringing his own aura to the mix. But overall, this segment was awesome, and it really built the hype to the match at SummerSlam. Really looking forward to it. It's getting personal. There's a lot of heat to this match, and Seth Rollins is just that extra little twist to this match. Really, really, really looking forward. Now, the problem is, other than this segment, there wasn't really much to the show, right? Now, this segment also didn't really add much more, other than the fact that the stipulation is just wacky, but great to see the three of them in the ring, right? Other than this, though, this episode of Raw didn't really have anything worthwhile. All the matches were okay, pretty predictable, right? You have Sami Zayn versus Dom Mysterio. I mean, who's gonna win, right? When Sami Zayn is going against Braun Breaker at SummerSlam. You have Jey Uso against Carlito. I mean, who's gonna win, right? Who's more over with the fans? We have Gunther versus Finn Balor. I mean, who's gonna win? It's Gunther versus Damian Priest at SummerSlam, right? So most of these matches were just predictable and just there for the sake of being there, or some story-based reason, or just some filler. Nothing new, and kind of like what we see when it comes to Raws before any PLE, or even a SmackDown before a PLE. The event is just there, just for the sake of hyping up the matches at the PLE, yet giving nothing new. No added twist. So that is basically what this Raw was in terms of matches and promos. Another somewhat exciting aspect of this Raw is finally we saw the faces of the Wyatt Six. This happened after a match between the Alpha Academy and the Creed brothers. The Wyatt Six finally came out, and then we got a glimpse of Uncle Howdy. That was exciting. That was another exciting, worthwhile segment to this episode of Raw. We got some cinematic promos hyping up the matches at SummerSlam, once again proving my point that this was like a recap episode, like many episodes before a PLE. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan didn't even come out to the ring at all during the entire episode. Am I wrong about that? So the live audience didn't even get to see Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley there live. You know, I don't even know if Liv Morgan was actually physically present at the venue. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really into this whole New Day and the Final Testament thing that's going on. I just don't really find it that exciting. Am I the only one, or is that just there for the sake of being there? Badly just developed. There's just nothing to look forward to, right? Am I wrong? The final match of the evening, Gunther versus Finn Balor, was entertaining to watch, even though we obviously knew the outcome, right? Obviously. Gunther wins. The way he won was interesting, right? Finn Balor was knocked down, basically choked, right? Then, of course, Damian Priest comes out. We have both of them going at each other. Gunther, Damian Priest. The hype is on. That's how the episode of Raw ends, with both of them just going at each other. Overall, this episode of Raw is exactly what I said it is. Nothing too exciting, no twists and turns, filler backstage moments, matches for which we know the end result, just there for the sake of being there. Some of the stars not even present in ring. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. I just feel this live audience kind of got the unfortunate show, you know? Although they got to see CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre in the ring. So you get some, you lose some, I guess. So, I mean, that's really all to say, right? We're all looking forward to SummerSlam. We're all looking forward for a particular return. Potentially, the WWE might give us a swerve. I'm all about unpredictability and sometimes not giving what the fans want. Imagine if Roman Reigns does not return. Maybe The Rock returns. There's so many possibilities. Maybe we think Roman Reigns is going to return during the first half of SummerSlam, but then something happens. Remember, Solo Sikoa once said confidently to Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns is not coming back. Maybe the Bloodline knows something we don't know. Maybe Solo Sikoa knows something we don't know. Maybe there's more to the picture, because I believe Triple H's WWE is all about seeding and foreshadowing. And there are particular hints based on what Solo Sikoa said in the past, that Roman Reigns returning may not be as simple as we think. But then again, there are a lot of times where the WWE does something, then they change their ideas, and then the previous hint becomes irrelevant and just something which we wonder, why did they do that in the first place then, if they're going to give us something different? But you know, you never know. Right? Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. Seth Rollins as special guest referee. So Seth Rollins is going to have fun during that match. It's going to be an exciting match to watch considering the heat. They want to stretch this rivalry on. They don't want it to be a normal match, right? We might get a normal fair match later on, but right now they're just having fun. Probably the most anticipated match, no doubt, at SummerSlam, and I'm looking forward to that. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. Not much happened at this episode of Raw, once again. It's just backstage segments, cinematic promos. But the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley track is already so developed that we are definitely looking forward to that match. And obviously there's something going on with Finn Balor. If you see social media, there were a couple hints on Raw as well. Something is brewing when it comes to Finn Balor. I don't know exactly what, but something is brewing. We'll have to wait till SummerSlam to see what the deal is. My prediction is that it's not going to be that easy for Rhea to get her revenge. I think Liv Morgan is here to stay as a women's champion, as a heel women's champion for quite some time. Her run has been entertaining because of this track overall, and I would love to see it being stretched out. Damian Priest versus Gunther. The WWE has managed to create some heat regarding this, and obviously Damian Priest has been a heel, but now he's suddenly a face because people just hate Gunther more. And I find this sort of gray shade scenario to be interesting, where both the characters are neither face nor heel, right? It creates a nice sort of three-dimensional scenario where things are not just black and white, right? It makes things rustic, it makes things raw. And that's what I think of when it comes to Gunther and Damian Priest. And my prediction here is that Gunther would win. But again, you never know. You never know what the WWE is thinking, what they have planned, long-term, whatever, especially during the Triple H era. But I feel Gunther should win. He'd be an awesome heel WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It would be fun to watch. The match is going to be a banger. It's going to be exciting. I think Damian Priest has grown a lot. Even though he's been winning due to the interference of others or other unpredictable scenarios till now. But I think as an athlete and as a main eventer, Damian Priest has slowly proven himself, and he has a great future ahead. As a champion or not as a champion, I think the Judgment Day is going to break apart, and then he's going to just be singles competition man, and that's how it should be, while Gunther is the champion. That's what I think is going to happen. Next week on Raw, post SummerSlam, we actually have Chad Gable and the Creed brothers going against the Wyatt Six in a six-man tag team. So this is interesting because the WWE is already looking past SummerSlam, right? This is good planning, this is good building, and I feel this is something that's different about the Triple H era. It's not short-term thinking, they think long-term. This is why I feel that the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan track and the entire Roman Reigns scenario may be a little different from what we're predicting, depending on how much Triple H wants to stretch this out and the hints that we've been hearing here and there. Let's see. I want Roman Reigns to come back, but you never know what could happen. I want the Wyatt Six to create mayhem. I thought a match would happen at SummerSlam, but nope. It's happening on Raw.